Alright, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the stream for Monday Night Football between the Lions and the Ravens. This should be a great game. Hopefully a lot better than last night's game. And they just kicked off a second ago. But welcome to the stream, everybody. Let me pull up the chat. Hold on one second. Let me pull up the game, because obviously that would kind of be essential to watch it. But welcome to the stream, everybody. We got the Lions and Ravens. Let me pull up the chat. Give me 1 second. There we go. Okay, so it's not letting me watch the game again. It happens every Monday night. The Lions got the ball first. But welcome to the stream, everybody. The Lions get the ball first. I still can't get the game on. Man, I hate ESPN so much. Every time. And I thought I even got it. I put the Monday Night Countdown on early, so this wouldn't happen, and it happens anyway. It was playing perfectly fine, then as soon as they were about to kick off, it said they had an error, and now I can't get it back on. But welcome to the stream, everybody. Let's at least see what's going on while we try to get it on. The Lions currently with the ball on the Ravens' 18-yard line. Good drive for the Lions so far. A couple big plays for Jameson Williams. A 24-yard catch and a 19-yard catch. But welcome to the stream. Let me put out a poll. Alright, Lions or Ravens? Be sure to vote on that. I got the Ravens. I mean, I don't necessarily trust them in a close game because I do think this game is going to be very close, but I did take the Ravens. Lamar Jackson is 24-2 against NFC teams. I think the Ravens got the advantage being at home, so they're my pick. Lions third and 3 from the 11. 11:04 to go in the first quarter. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Be sure to vote on the poll. I'm still trying to get the game on. It's a 4th and 3 for the Lions, by the way. Incomplete pass on third down. $10:27 to go in the first quarter. Ball is on the Ravens 11. Sorry, still trying to get the game on. Monday Night Football always gives me problems. The Lions went for it on 4th down. 7-yard completion to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Give him first and goal at the 4. First and goal from the 4 is a 3-yard run by Jahmyr Gibbs down to the 1-yard line. Bring up 2nd and goal, 9:47 to go in the first quarter. And there's a 1-yard touchdown for Jahmyr Gibbs. So the Lions go right down the field in their first drive. Jahmyr Gibbs, 17 yards and a touchdown on that first drive. The Lions go right down the field. They take the lead 6-0 with 9:16 to go. It would really be nice if I can watch this. And the extra point for the Lions is good. Alright, still trying to get the game on. If you guys have any ideas, I'd much appreciate that. ESPN's website is just so bad. That's now 3 weeks in a row that I still can't get it on. The Jahmyr Gibbs touchdown does help me in fantasy, but I'm down by so much I don't even think it's going to matter. Down by 60. I mean, technically I do have a chance. I got Jahmyr Gibbs, Derrick Henry, and Jake Bates, but I just don't think it's super likely. ESPN doesn't either. They give me a 2% chance to win. Oh, because the other guy's got Lamar Jackson, too. Yeah, I pretty much have no chance. But welcome to the stream, everybody. I'm still trying to get the game on. Think we might be in for a shootout. Yeah, I'd agree. What stream do I use? I just go on ESPN's website and try to watch it through there, but it never lets me until like the end of the first quarter. It's just so annoying because it's every week. It's happened week 1, week 2, and now here in week 3. And it very rarely has happened in the past. And ESPN is the only site that gives me that problem. NBC is fine, Fox is fine, CBS is fine. What's the other one? Yeah, I have no idea. Like, I had it playing fine before, but now it won't go back to playing. Oh, here we go. I got it now. So the Ravens get the ball back, or get the ball for their first possession. Bates kicks off. And the kick is a touchback. So Lamar Jackson and the Ravens offense onto the field for their first possession. Lamar Jackson on Monday Night Football, 22 touchdown passes, 3 rushing touchdowns. 0 interceptions. His 22 touchdown passes, the most on Monday Night Football in history without an interception. I've got the Ravens. I took them 34. No, 34. I don't remember. Might have said 34-30, but I'm not sure. Jackson off play action. Throws downfield. There's Andrews for his first catch. And Mark Andrews is going to get to the 39-yard line. Nice throw and catch. I took the Ravens. Let me check my score, because for some reason I can't remember. I thought I said 34-30, but for some reason that doesn't sound right. But a nice completion to start the day for the Ravens. (35-34). I've got the Ravens. Yeah, I think we're going to have a shootout. Should be a great game. We got offsides here against the Lions. Gives the Ravens a free 5 yards. Aiden Hutchinson jumps into the neutral zone. You got the Ravens 34-28, okay? Yeah, I can see that. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. It was a tough game to predict because I would probably lean the Ravens just slightly because they're at home. But, I mean, I also just don't really trust them a ton. But I did decide to go with them. So 1st and 5 for the Ravens. 8:20 to go in the opening quarter. Jackson hands off Derrick Henry right side. And Henry is going to gain about 7 yards. Enough for a first down. Get to inside Lions territory as well. To the Lions 49. Don't trust either defense. For me, it's not that I don't necessarily trust either defense. It's I don't trust the Ravens to be able to finish a game, especially after what we saw in Week 1, because they're just not great in close games. I think they're 5-7 in one-score games since the start of last year. Jackson on the option here makes the cut. Lamar Jackson to gain 12 before he slides down. But a good pickup there for the Ravens. But so yeah, I was looking at these numbers when I was doing my predictions video earlier in the week, or really last week now. But the Ravens, they're 5-7 in one-score games since the start of last year, while the Lions are 7-2. So I mean, it's not necessarily the defense, just the Ravens as a whole. But I did end up picking them, so clearly I trust them enough. Jackson, quick throw underneath. There's Andrews again. And Mark Andrews going to gain 8 before he's thrown out of bounds by Kirby Joseph. He's 2nd and 2 here for the Ravens. Lamar in shotgun, Henry to his left. Ball is on the Lions 29. Here's the handoff to Derrick Henry, and not much. Maybe a yard for Derrick Henry, but he is not going anywhere. They go back to the ground here on 3rd and short. Henry breaks free. Derrick Henry inside the 20, inside the 10, and he will score. Derrick Henry with the rushing touchdown. And the Ravens an extra point away from tying this game. But both teams with great drives on their first possession. There was a flag down, but the penalties declined. It was an offsides call against the Lions. And Derrick Henry with the rushing touchdown. And they're an extra point away from tying it up. So here is a loop for the extra point, and it is right down the middle. So 7-7, we're tied. Both teams with a rushing touchdown. And it's 7-7. A 28-yard score for Derrick Henry. That's already more yards he has now than all of last week. You got the Ravens 38-31. Okay. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a shootout. But the touchdown for Derrick Henry was 28 yards. He had 3 carries for 36 yards on that drive, which is more than he had all of last week, when he had 23 yards also, although he had just 11 carries. But for Derrick Henry, it is his 3rd touchdown of the season. Had 2 in the opener against the Bills. Didn't have any last week. It's his 3rd touchdown of the year. And the game is tied at 7. Both teams good drives in their first possession. Ravens a little bit more on the ground. Lions more through the air. But a good first drive for both teams. But we wait for them to come back from commercial. So far, results in the poll, 67% of guys said the Ravens will win, 33% have said the Lions. Be sure to vote if you've not already done so. The game tied at 7. Now they're back from commercial. 5:40 to go in the first quarter. Lions can get the ball back for their second possession. So the kick going to be returned from about the 3-yard line. And on the return, you got some space and goes diving up to the 32-yard line. And that is where Jared Goff and the Lions offense is going to take over. Derrick Henry, 23 yards last week, was his fewest total since 2023. I mean, not every day you see Derrick Henry get held to 23 yards. So 1st and 10 from the 32. Goff off play action, pressured. Tries to set up the screen to Gibbs, but it's incomplete. Actually, they're going to let that play out? I think they might have said that was a backwards pass. Yeah, the clock is running, so they ruled out a backwards pass. But that was incomplete. Hard to tell from that angle. Surprised the Lions aren't going to challenge this. 2nd and 19. And they'll hand it off to Jahmyr Gibbs, runs into his own lineman in the backfield and tries to turn the corner. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And it's 3rd down. I'm kind of surprised Dan Campbell didn't challenge that. I mean, knowing how aggressive he is, here's a good look at it. Goff releases the ball from the about 3-yard line. And it lands. Oh, that might be. exactly lateral. So that might have been too close to overturn. So maybe a good thing they didn't challenge. 3rd and 19 here for the Lions. Ravens show blitz. They'll bring 4. Here's the screen to Jahmyr Gibbs. Gets a block. And Gibbs is dragged down at the 30. But that drive for the Lions really derailed by that backwards potentially backwards pass. And the Ravens defense forced a quick 3 and out. So here is a 4th and 11. Jack Fox on to punt it away for the Lions, averaging 48.8 yards per punt, which is an NFL record in his career. So he kicks this away and fielded at the 15. And on the return to the 27-yard line. And that is where the Ravens will take over for their second possession, 3:16 to go in the first quarter. A 54-yard punt, 11 yards on the return. And the Ravens take over for their second possession. Game still tied at 7. So the Ravens take over on their own 27-yard line, where it's officially spotted. Hold on 1 second, just want to check something real quick while they're at commercial. A 7-7 game, 3:16 to go in the first quarter. So the Ravens with the football, after their defense forced a quick 3 and out. So the Ravens come out with Jackson under center. Derrick Henry is the back. Ball on their own 27. Jackson off play action, looks to throw. Pressure, throws underneath. There is Kohler for a gain of about 8. Jahmyr Gibbs has the fastest average speed at the line of scrimmage in the NFL, 11.58 miles per hour. And Derrick Henry, the second fastest guy at the line of scrimmage. Or guy at the line of scrimmage, I should say. Here's Henry again, this time dancing around and taking down at the line. No gain. Henry got up to 18.5 miles an hour on that touchdown run. He's actually or not really fast, but he's actually fast, and you just don't realize it because he doesn't look like he's moving that fast, but he's actually fast, and it's insane considering when you consider how big he is. Here is a 3rd and 3 for the Ravens. Jackson to throw. Jackson floats one downfield, incomplete. Justice Hill, the intended target, and it's incomplete. And the Ravens are going to go 3 and out just like the Lions on their second drive. So 4th and 3. Both teams straight touchdowns and then 3 and outs. Khalif Raymond back deep to receive. Stout kicks it away. And Raymond, wow, that's a huge punt. Fields at his own 3-yard line. And Raymond taken down at the 7. Flag is down. So let's see what this flag is, but not a great decision to field that punt by Khalif Raymond, because that was definitely going into the end zone. Wow, it's a hold against the Lions as well, so they're going to be, like, actually in their own end zone. Not quite, but they're going to have the ball backed up deep inside their own territory, probably at the 3.5-yard line. Yeah, it's going to be their own 4-yard line after the penalty. It was a 63-yard punt. A 4-yard return, which eventually, or pretty much gets taken away due to the hold. But let's see what the third drive looks like for each team. So far, they've been identical to one another between the touchdown and punt. But we wait for them to come back from commercial. Minute 43 to go in the first quarter. Hold on 1 second. We still wait for them to come back from commercial. Alright, now they're back. Oh, we got a double header next Monday. We got the Jets and Dolphins at 7. Wow, that game is going to be terrible. And the Bengals and Broncos at 8. So I'll probably stream the Bengals Broncos because um Dolphins Jets game seems terrible. So I'll most likely stream the later game there, starting at usual time, 8 o'clock, or really 8:15. So 1st and 10 here, Lions start at their own 2-yard line, and they'll start off with a handoff up the middle to David Montgomery, and he'll get about 4 up to the 6-yard line, giving the Lions a little bit more room to work with. So 2nd and 6, minute 13 to go in the first quarter. On their own 6. Goff. Hands off to Montgomery. He's taken down in the backfield for a loss of a yard. Flag is down. Looks like this is either going to be offsides or some kind of illegal formation. It is an illegal formation. So it's third down here. The Ravens decline the penalty. Makes sense. So it's 3rd and 7. On their own 5-yard line. Goff, the back to his right. Ravens going to bring a blitz. Goff zips one over the middle. Call for a first down. Sam Laporta to the 15-yard line. Moves the sticks for the Lions. Good job of the Lions to pick up the blitz. And get the first down right there. The Lions don't have to run a play before the quarter ends. They got 2 seconds. And they won't. So that brings us to the end of the first quarter. Game tied at 7. And the Lions on their 3rd drive. It's a 7-7 game at the end of the first quarter. A pretty even first quarter. Lions 88 yards, Ravens 82 yards. Both teams 50% on 3rd down. Pretty even first quarter. Really, the only difference is what the teams did through the air versus on the ground. Ravens 48 rushing yards, Lions 15. The Lions 73 passing yards, Ravens 34. So it is very similar. But a close first quarter. Hopefully it stays close. Hopefully this game makes up for last night's disaster. That game was not fun. Especially for me as a Giants fan. Alright, now they're back from commercial. We start the second quarter with a 7-7 game. Lions with the football on their own 15-yard line, 1st and 10. Jared Goff in that first quarter, 6 of 7, 73 yards. Threw for 330-something yards and 4 or 5 touchdowns last week. Goff off play action, protected underneath. There is Montgomery out of the backfield. And Montgomery is going to break a tackle, and David Montgomery lowers the shoulder, gains 11, and another first down for the Lions. Thoughts after the Giants game? They're terrible. I mean, yeah, they're just not very good. The offense was awful. Russell Wilson wasn't good. Just terrible all-around game. Goff to throw here, steps up, is going to try to run for it. And Jared Goff able to get about 6. Give him 5. They should put in Dart. I was opposed to it, but I mean, after last night's disaster, why not? I'd be fine with it. They might too. Brian Dable refused to name a starter and said everything is an option, or they're evaluating everything. So they very well might. Not be shocked to see him next week. Here's the toss to Jahmyr Gibbs left side, and Gibbs is forced to bounds for a loss of 3. And it brings up 3rd and long. Scatterby was good. Yeah, I mean, there wasn't many positives for the Giants last night. Scatterby being good was one of the few positives. I mean, Scatterby, the pass rush was pretty good. Brian Burns had another good game. I thought the offensive line actually played fairly well, but that's pretty much it. 3rd and 8 here for the Lions. Goff looks to throw, has time over the middle. That's caught by Laporta again. His second 3rd down catch this drive, and another conversion for the Lions. Lions came into the game having just 1 conversion on 14 attempts with 3rd downs 6 yards or longer. They're now 3 for 4 on those type of 3rd downs today. To make it 1st and 10 from the 43. Goff under center. Hands off to David Montgomery. And Montgomery runs into a wall at the line of scrimmage. No gain. Vikings are confusing you, but not complaining about that win. Yeah, I mean, Vikings, they've been interesting. They looked great yesterday. I mean, yeah, it's definitely understandable to be confused about the Vikings. Haven't really been too, I don't know what the right word is. They have been kind of confusing so far. 2nd and 10, toss goes to Montgomery, and Montgomery's got space here, makes a cut, and David Montgomery spins his way upfield for 9, maybe 10 yards. Good run there. Great show watching from Austria, Europe. Wow, thank you. Glad you enjoy it. You might be the first person who's ever said they're from Austria. That might be a first. I think it is. But that's very cool. 3rd and 1 here for the Lions. Goff under center. And hands off to Jahmyr Gibbs up the middle. And he's going to have enough for a first down, although didn't get much. But the Lions, another 3rd down conversion. We got 10:49 to go in the first half. Game's still tied at 7. Goff in shotgun. Gibbs is the back one to his right. Goff going to look to throw here. Goff rolling to his right. There's Gibbs out of the backfield. Flag comes down. It's like in the area of where Gibbs caught the ball. So that might be some kind of holding or illegal contact. I guess it could be a push-off by Gibbs as well. Yeah, it's illegal contact. going against Kyle Hamilton, who's working against Sam Laporta. Oh, the Lions actually declined the penalty. So it's 2nd and 1. And here's the handoff to Montgomery up the middle. And oh, wow, he almost broke that tackle. As it is, we'll get to the 29. But a good run for Montgomery as it is. Bears final looked better. Crazy week. Yeah, I don't know if that's necessarily the Bears looking good. I think the Cowboys might just be terrible. Because, I mean, the Cowboys, they made the Giants' offense look good. But the Bears, they did look pretty good. Yeah, it was kind of a crazy week, especially with like the Packers losing to the Browns. All the blocked field goals. There's one. The Packers had a blocked field goal. The Buccaneers had a blocked field goal. The Rams had a blocked field goal. There's a handoff to Montgomery up the middle. And another good run for David Montgomery. He backpedals his way for 10 yards. Down to the 20. The Lions, David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs have 54 combined touchdowns since the start of 2023. That is the most by any teammates in the NFL. Jahmyr Gibbs has a touchdown today. So 1st and 10 here. Here's the handoff to Gibbs left side. And this time not as much. Maybe a yard or two. So I was just looking at the chat. I missed this comment. LSU football team 2. I assume that refers to their ranking? No. They're not ranked 2. I'm not sure. So, I want to give some more context to that. Alright, long drive so far for the Lions. 8.5 minutes off the clock. 14 plays, 80 yards. From the 18, they go back to the ground with Gibbs up the middle. And Gibbs breaks a tackle and about 8 yards. Will be 3rd and 1 for the Lions. Already almost halfway through the second quarter. 7:45 to go in the first half. Wow, gives us a lot of space to run right there. Great blocking up front for the Lions. So 3rd and 1. Goff under center. Play clock at 3. And Goff going to sneak it, and he's got a first. Goff moves the sticks, and it's 1st and goal for the Lions. And their long drive continues. Now 16 plays, 89 yards. It's taken 9:40 off the clock. $6:45 to go in the first half. Khalif Raymond goes in motion. Goff looks to throw. Goff throws. Gibbs caught just short of the goal line. Gibbs took a big hit right there at the goal line. Yeah, he's down at the 1. He's down just short. So here is a 2nd and goal. Now nearly 11 minutes off the clock on this drive. About to be the 18th play. Laporta goes in motion. They're going to hand it to Montgomery. And he is stuffed. Oh no, we got conflicting signals. One says short, the other guy says touchdown. And Montgomery is in. Let's see, the one official said he got there. Yeah, he does. Great call right there. Montgomery breaks the play, and the Lions retake the lead. Just broke the plane. And what a drive right there for the Lions. 18 plays, 98 yards. Takes like 12 minutes off the clock. That is an insane drive. We got 5:47 to go in the first half. And here is Jake Bates for the extra point. And the extra point for Bates is up and good. So 14-7, Lions lead the Ravens. And what a drive that was. Giants versus Chargers next week. Maybe Dart can pull off a miracle. Maybe. I mean, I don't feel too great about that game. I mean, you've either got a offense that is probably not going to do anything if Russell Wilson starts, because this Chargers defense is really good, or you've got Jackson Dart starting against a really good Chargers defense in his first start. But I mean, I guess anything's possible. I mean, it's hard to be much worse than what they've had. But I guess there's always a chance. I'm worried about Justin Herbert. I think he's going to have a huge game when you consider how the Giants' pass defense has looked. I feel like I was just going to say something. Oh, Jackson Dart. So I was looking at the Giants' schedule before, which is obviously insanely difficult. And I mean, I know you don't necessarily want him to have his first start against a tough defense in the Chargers, which is why you could want to wait until they play the Saints in Week 5. Yeah, then they have the Saints, and you would think they'd get their first win there. Yeah, I would agree. But I mean, even if you wait another week and give Dart his first start in Week 5 against the Saints, that's an easier game. But then after that, you play the Eagles, Broncos, and Eagles as your next 3 games. And then those are 2 or 3 elite defenses. Or really 2, because it's 2 teams. And I mean, then looking at the rest of their schedule, there is not a great opportunity for Jackson Dart to start until the final 5 games of the year, where they play the Patriots, Commanders, Vikings, Raiders, and Cowboys. So I mean, the Patriots defense is pretty good. Commanders defense is pretty good. Vikings defense is great. The Raiders defense isn't anything crazy. And the Cowboys defense we know is terrible. So there's really not a great opportunity to really say, okay, here's an easier part of the schedule, unless you want to wait all the way until, what is that, week 14, 13, 12, somewhere around there. So I mean, he's going to have to play against tough defenses at some point. The kick is away, and returned here. Good return, breaking a tackle, and getting to the 48-yard line. What a return there for the Ravens. Kicker Jake Bates finally made the tackle. But a great return right there for the Ravens. Sets them up to great field position. It's a rough next couple games, or next few games. Yeah, the Giants' schedule is extremely tough. But yeah, it's really, really hard. First and 10 here from the 49. They hand it off to Derrick Henry, and he powers his way ahead for 4. I think I just said the Lions' 98-yard drive is their longest drive since 2011, which, I mean, that is impressive, because it's not every day you see a drive come 98 yards. I wonder what the official time on that drive was. Probably 12 minutes. Got 5:15 to go in the first half right now. 2nd and 6 right here. Justice Hill is the back. He motions out of the backfield. And Jackson going to run it here. Trying to get to the outside, but he's dragged down at the line of scrimmage, and it brings up 3rd and 6. So going back to that drive for the Lions, it was officially 18 plays, 98 yards. That took 10:48 off the clock. That's easily the most impressive drive I've seen so far this year. I'm sure there's been other great drives. That is a really good one. 3rd and 6. Right here for the Ravens. Lions bring pressure. Jackson, given time, backpedals to his own 40 and throws downfield. Caught by Bateman for a first down. What a play right there for the Ravens on 3rd and 6. A great play by Lamar Jackson. Good catch by Rashad Bateman over on the sideline. That is a great play by Lamar Jackson. That was a great throw. We got 1st and 10 here. Jackson off play action, steps up, and throws one deep down the field. It's caught inside the 5. Thrown out of bounds at the 4. Another big play. It's Devontae Walker for the Ravens. And a big play right there. I mean, those are two really good back-to-back plays for Lamar Jackson. Now they hand it off to Henry, who tries to power his way in, and he's short, down at the 1. But that was a really good 2-play sequence for Lamar Jackson. They go I formation, another handoff to Henry, and he is short again. Gonna bring up 3rd and goal from the 1. Ravens don't have to run a play before the 2-minute warning. Lamar Jackson looks frustrated about something. And the Ravens going to let this go all the way down to the 2-minute warning. I kind of think this is the Bills' year, to be honest. It very well could be. I mean, they've looked really good so far. And it's kind of crazy, because the Bills, like, I wasn't as high on them this year as I had been in past years. Like, obviously, they're going to be good, but they've looked better than I thought they would. Yeah, they've looked really good. It could be their year. I mean, especially with the Chiefs looking like they might be having a down year. The Chargers, they look good, but they're probably guaranteed to charger it at some point. Cook has looked great. Yeah, he had a great year last year, too. He's looked good. Josh Allen has been really good as well. Obviously had that huge game in week 1. But I mean, with how the the AFC looks right now, it very well could be the Bills' year, at least in the AFC. Which, I mean, then you look at the NFC teams, it might be their year. You might be right. Because, I mean, the Bills, they've looked great. And, like, their biggest competition right now is the Ravens and the Chargers. I was the Chiefs could turn things around. The Broncos could turn things around. But it very well could be their year. And then, I mean, hypothetically, they get the Super Bowl. And I don't love any NFC team's chance right now to beat them. I mean, the Buccaneers are 3-0. I would still take the Bills. The Eagles haven't been super impressive and probably should be. I mean, realistically, could be 0-3. Instead, they're 3-0. They feel a lot like the Chiefs last year. But, yeah, I mean, the Bills, they look good. But, I mean, the Eagles, they've been very not impressive, but just finding ways to win. Third and goal here for the Ravens. Jackson under center. Henry's the back. They'll toss it to him to the right side. And Henry is stopped again. The Lions defense with 3 straight stops from the 1-yard line on Derrick Henry. Wow. I think I call a timeout right here from the Lions. Save yourself some time. The Ravens will go for it. Jackson designed quarterback run. No, now he's going to try to throw. He wants the ball! He kicked it backwards, and Jackson dives on it back at the 21-yard line. But the Lions defense with 4 straight stops from the 1. What a goal line stand right there for the Lions. Wow. Jack Campbell with a great play on Lamar Jackson. Man, what a stand right there for the Lions. Now they get the ball back with 3 timeouts and some time to work with. Super Bowl prediction right now. That is really tough. But yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, AFC, we're just talking about the Bills. But the Chargers, they've looked really good too. I would probably go Bills Lions right now. I mean, the Bills right now through 3 weeks, I'd say it's between the Bills and Chargers in the AFC. And the NFC is a little bit more open. But I would take the Lions, especially if they're going to play like this. Yeah, if I had to say right now through 3 weeks, or pretty much, that would be it. Bills Vikings from an unbiased Vikings fan. I guess it's possible. But the Lions, they get the ball back here, minute 24 to go. They got the ball in their own 20, 3 timeouts to work with. Ravens have all 3 as well. Goff looks to throw. Pressure rolls to his left. Goff throws underneath, just out of the reach of Jahmyr Gibbs. Incomplete. Flag is down. Minute 18 to go in the first half. I would love that too, because it would be 2 teams without a Super Bowl win. So I don't care who wins. That is true. Yeah, it's always nice to see somebody get there first. The penalty against Marlon Humphrey for illegal contact. I don't know about that when they show the replay. Goff looks to throw, steps up, rolls left. Goff pressured and just throws it away. 2nd and 10. Minute 12 to go. So we got a 2nd and 10 here. Ravens bring 5. Goff throws it at the feet of Jahmyr Gibbs as he got hit. They're letting this play out. I'm not sure why. That was clearly an incomplete pass. Yeah, Goff throws it. It bounces at the feet of Gibbs. I mean, good job by Goff. Just get rid of that with free rusher in his face. So 3rd and 10 here. Goff sets up the screen to St. Brown, and he's spun around and just goes down at the line of scrimmage. We got 1:05 to go in the first half, and the Ravens actually call a timeout right here. Smart decision. Defense gets a quick stop. Leaves the Ravens with 2 timeouts remaining. So 1:05 to go in the first half. Jack Fox to kick it away. With Deontay Wester, rookie from Colorado, to fielder. Nearly got blocked. Flag down. Wester from the 31. And he's chopped down at the 41. So 10 yards on the return, 56 seconds. There's a flag down. So we got a hold against the Lions. So the 10-yard penalty added to the end of the kick. Well, let's see what the Ravens offense can do. They got good field position. Might even be inside Lions territory. Let's see. It's a 44-yard punt. 10 on the return. So I think they are going to be inside Lions territory. Should be about the 48, I think. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. Seven-point game. Also, they show the replay of the hold, and I mean, it's actually a really good decision to commit the hold, because otherwise that punt was getting blocked. So, I mean, even though the Lions, or the Ravens still have the ball inside Lion territory, it's the 49 as opposed to the 20. Jackson going to step up and run here, and Jackson's going to have a first down, out of bounds after pick up of 13. Stops the clock with 48 seconds left. Hi, how's it going? Lamar Jackson tonight is 5 of 6, 78 yards, and 25 rushing yards. First and 10 from the 36. Jackson looks to throw. Jackson pressured. Dancing around, rolling right. Jackson now throws underneath, caught by Hill, and he's going to get out of bounds after a gain of 4. 38 seconds left. Do I like Alabama football? No, I'm a Notre Dame fan. We got a 2nd and 6 here. 38 seconds left in the first half. Jackson pressured. Has time. And throws to the sideline. That is caught by DeAndre Hopkins at the 19-yard line with 32 seconds left in the first half. Great catch right there to keep the feet in bounds. $13 yards right there. 32 seconds left in the first half. Jackson has time, takes a shot to the end zone, wants Hopkins again. Incomplete, but a flag is down. Terrion Arnold in coverage there. Yeah, he does hold him. So, because it occurred in the end zone, puts the ball on the 1. So first and goal from the 1. Ravens also get the ball to start the second half. Ball's actually on the 3-yard line. Why is it not on the 1? Jackson underneath, call for a touchdown. Rashad Bateman makes the catch. And the Ravens about to tie this game up. A 3-yard touchdown catch for Rashad Bateman. 4:49 to go in the first. A 4-play, 49-yard drive with 24 seconds to go in the first half. And the extra point right down the middle. 14-14, we're tied with 24 seconds left in the first half. But now let's see how aggressive the Lions want to be right here. Tied at 14, 24 seconds left. So let's see how aggressive the Lions try to get here. I mean, knowing Dan Campbell, I would expect them to try to try to do something. Especially, I mean, 3 timeouts. Knowing Dan Campbell and his aggressiveness, I would not be shocked. They try to put a drive together. The kick is away. Returned from the 3. Here's Raymond. Across the 30. Tripped up at the 33-yard line. 18 seconds to go. And let's see what the Lions offense does here. Both quarterbacks tonight with exactly 123 total yards. Jackson with the passing touchdown. Goff, no touchdowns, but he's been very solid. So 1st and 10 from their own 33. Goff going to look to throw. Goff steps up, throws underneath, caught by Raymond. Gains 4. 13 seconds left. Timeout for the Lions. That's their first. So it does seem like they're going to try to put a drive together. We got 13 seconds left. Each team 2 timeouts. I was tied at 14. Goff and shotgun to Gibbs the back line to his right. Goff looks to throw underneath. That's caught by St. Brown. Makes a man miss and is taken down after a gain of 3. That's just not productive enough. I mean, Jake Bates does have a big leg. So I mean, maybe right here you throw. You got 7 seconds and 1 timeout. So you could try to get into a long field goal range. maybe like 65, 70 yards. Because Bates is made from 63, I think. So, I mean, if you can get like 15 yards right here, you're at the 40, get to the 45, I'd give him a chance. 3rd and 3. And we got a timeout called by the Ravens. That's their second timeout. But I mean, if I'm the Lions, I try to get a field goal right here. A long field goal for Jake Bates. He's got a big leg. I try it. I mean, you will need some yards here. You got 7 seconds, one timeout for each team. 3rd and 3 for the Lions. Goff looks to throw. Goff throws quickly, caught by St. Brown. He gets down at the 48. Just inside midfield, or just on the Ravens side of midfield. Timeout with 2 seconds left. That is exactly what they needed. And Jake Bates is going to come on for a long field goal. His career long in the NFL is 58, which he made at Houston last year. But in the UFL last year, he made, or was that the USFL? Whatever. In spring football, I forget which week it was. He made a 63 or 64 yarder. But this would be a long field goal for Bates. The Ravens called the timeout. This is going to be a 67-yard field goal, which would be the NFL record. Obviously, the current record is 66, held by Ravens kicker Justin Tucker. He's obviously not with the team anymore. Bates did make from 60 in warm-ups. Not by much, though. Obviously, the Ravens can put somebody back there to return it if it misses short. Well, Deontay Wester is back for the Ravens. A 67-yard field goal attempt for Jake Bates. To try to put the Lions up 3 before halftime and set the NFL record for longest field goal. The kick for Bates is up, on the way, and no good. Had the distance, but drifted left. At least I think it had the distance. Yeah, I think it might have had the distance. Just missed it left. What? A good attempt right there for Jake Bates. But we're tied at 14 at the half. And a very entertaining first half, as expected. The Ravens will get the ball to start the second half. What a tie game at halftime, 14-14. Great game so far. Hopefully that continues. What? I'm going to go take a quick break, use the bathroom for my water. I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. Thank you guys for staying with me as it took a quick break. But we're tied at 14 at halftime. Ravens get the ball to start the second half. And a very close, entertaining first half. I expect to be very similar in the second half. But as far as an updated score prediction goes, originally I said 35-34 Ravens. And I mean, I'll stick with the Ravens. Why not? I do think the Lions may have looked slightly better in that first half. But I'll stick with the Ravens with my original prediction. And we'll take the Ravens. Updated score will go... let's go like 31-28. Ravens. That's the updated score prediction. Ravens 31-28. But I mean, I still think this is going to be a great game. Very close. And I mean, really can still go either way. But that's my updated prediction. So far, the result in the poll, 70% of you guys said the Ravens will win, 30% have said the Lions. Be sure to vote if you guys haven't already done so. Score some stats from the first half. Beginning with player stats for the Lions. Jared Goff went 14 of 17 for 135 yards, no touchdowns or interceptions. On the ground for the Lions, they weren't super good, although they did have that one drive where they ran it really effectively. Montgomery, 7 carries for 31 yards and a touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs, 11 carries, 19 yards and a touchdown. And Jared Goff, 3 carries for 7 yards. Then receiving for the Lions, Jameson Williams, 2 catches for 43 yards. Jahmyr Gibbs, 4 catches for 29 yards. Sam Laporta, 2 for 24. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 4 for 22. Montgomery, 1 for 13. And Raymond, 1 for 4. Then for the Ravens, Lamar Jackson's 8 of 9 for 98 yards and a touchdown. On the ground for the Ravens, Derrick Henry, 8 carries, 41 yards and a score. Lamar Jackson, 3 carries for 25 yards. And then receiving for the Ravens, Devontae Walker, 1 catch, 34 yards. Mark Andrews, 2 for 27. Rashad Bateman, 2 for 13. DeAndre Hopkins, 1 for 13. Bateman's also got a touchdown. Charlie Kolar, 1 for 7. And Justice Hill, 1 catch for 4 yards. Then team stats from the first half. Lions with 14 first downs. Ravens have 10. Lions were really good on third down, converting 6 of their 9 third downs and 1 of 1 on fourth down. Ravens 2 for 4 on third down, 0 for 1 on fourth. Lions are outgaining the Ravens 192 to 146, although the Ravens averaging 7 yards per play. Lions at 4.1. Lions throwing the ball better, or for more yards. Ravens a little bit better on the ground. Lions 2 touchdowns and 2 red zone trips. Ravens 1 for 2. 4 penalties, 32 yards against the Lions. 1 penalty, 5 yards against the Ravens. No turnovers in the first half. And time possession was a lot in favor of the Lions. 19:48 for the Lions, 10-12 for the Ravens. But even though there was a big difference in time possession, obviously still a very close game. And game's still tied at the half. And let's see, we got about 3 minutes until the second half starts, so I guess we can go over scores from yesterday. Oh, well, this is actually on Thursday. The Bills beat the Dolphins 31-21. Dolphins, they've looked so bad so far this year. Chiefs beat the Giants 22-9. Unfortunately. The Browns upset the Packers 13-10. Colts continue to look good. They beat the Titans 41-20. Vikings destroyed the Bengals 48-10. Steelers beat the Patriots 21-14. Eagles barely beat the Rams 33-26. Buccaneers beat the Jets 29-27. Commanders beat the Raiders 41-24. Panthers destroyed the Falcons 30-0, which is very impressive when you consider how bad the Panthers defense is. Jaguars beat the Texans 17-10. Texans, they've looked awful so far. Chargers beat the Broncos 23-20. Seahawks destroyed the Saints 44-13. Bears easily beat the Cowboys 31-14. And the 49ers beat the Cardinals 16-15 on a walk-off field goal, although Nick Bosa now out for the year with a torn ACL. That is obviously a big loss for the 49ers. It's the second time Bosa suffered a torn ACL in his NFL career. This time it's the other knee. This time it's his right knee. First time was his left. But we still wait for them to start the second half, though it should be within the next couple seconds. But to prepare, I'll get this ready. Ravens do get the ball to start the second half. Very even first half. So the second half set to kick off. That was the game tied at 14. Let's go Ravens. I don't really have a preference for this game. I'm just enjoying a good one. I guess I would say the Ravens if I had to say, but because that's who I picked, and I guess I'd want to be right. But as far as if I really want a team to win, no, I'm just hoping for a good game. It's what we've gotten so far. Hopefully that continues. Zay Flowers was not targeted in the first half for the Ravens, despite being targeted 43% of pass plays in weeks 1 and 2, which was the highest percentage in the NFL. The kick is returned from about a yard in front of the goal line, and on the return to the 28-yard line. And that is where the Ravens offense takes over for their first possession of the second half. Ravens with just 10 minutes and 12 seconds of possession in the first half, which is their lowest in the first half since 2017. I mean, that is also what happens when you allow the Lions to go on an 11-minute drive. So the Ravens begin at their own 27-yard line. Jackson in shotgun, Henry to his right. Lamar looks to throw. Has time. There's Henry out of the backfield, makes the catch. And Derrick Henry going to fall forward for a gain of 6 yards. Brings up 2nd and 3. They actually give him 7 on first down. Here's the handoff to Derrick Henry to the right side. And Henry is tripped up after getting about 2. A little short of a first down. Third and 1 here for the Ravens. Ravens get to the line quick, and they jumped off sides. It's going to be a neutral zone infraction or whatever it is. Offsides, same idea. Lions jump offsides. And the Ravens able to move the sticks easily. So from their own 42, after the first down, play action, Jackson throws over the middle. Ader, almost intercepted. He threw it right to Brian Branch, who couldn't haul it in. That was not a good decision right there for Lamar Jackson. Trying to find Kohler up the seam. Branch does a great job undercutting it, just can't catch it. But I mean, he just threw it right to him. Second and 10 after the dropped interception. Jackson quick throw. That's caught by Andrews. And Mark Andrews gains 4. Lamar Jackson tonight, 10 of 12, 109 yards and a touchdown. Also 25 on the ground. So 3rd and 6 from their own 45. Jackson throws over the middle. That's caught by Flowers. His first target, first catch. And a first down for the Ravens. Goes for 6 yards. So from the Lion 48, we'll hand this off to Derrick Henry up the middle. And Henry's taken down for a gain of about 3 or 4. They're going to give him 4, so it's 2nd and 6. Second and 6 for the Ravens. Jackson off play action over the middle. That is caught by a wide open Charlie Kohler. Swoops a tackle and dives down at the 26. A good looking drive for the Ravens to open up this half. Well, Jack Campbell got really aggressive on the run fake right there. They were to throw it right to where he's supposed to be. Actually move the ball back a few yards. Back to the 29 after originally being spotted at the 26. So we have a 1st and 10 from the 29. Zay Flowers goes in motion. Jackson floats one down the field that is caught by Andrews. Mark Andrews at the 10-yard line makes a nice catch. And it's 1st and goal for the Ravens. Mark Andrews having a really nice game. Not terrible coverage by Branch either, but a good catch by Mark Andrews. Oh, toss it to Derrick Henry. He's going to look to throw, and Henry throws back of the end zone. Almost intercepted. Good job by Tylan Wallace just to break that up, but DJ Reed nearly picked it. We have seen Derrick Henry throw a few touchdowns in his career. Looking for another right there. Threw it a little too far. I think they might have also had the option to throw it to Lamar. Oh, Derrick Henry in his career, 7 of 10, 37 yards, 4 touchdowns as a passer. Jackson pressured here, rolls right, and Jackson is going to take a sack. Back at the 15-yard line, just couldn't find anywhere to go. And it's 3rd and goal. So it's 3rd and goal. Lamar Jackson doesn't throw the ball away, averaging 0.7 throwaways per game, which is 2nd fewest in the NFL. 3rd and goal. Jackson throws towards the end zone. Call for a touchdown. Mark Andrews, another catch. Gets in the end zone, and the Ravens take their first lead of the day. What a drive. Mark Andrews, a 14-yard touchdown. He had a lot of catches on that drive. He's had a really good game. Made a couple of nice catches. Got the touchdown here. That's a nice one. Great throw, great catch. And a touchdown for the Ravens. An 11-play, 73-yard drive took 6:09 off the clock. Great drive for the Ravens to open up the second half. And the extra point is good. Yeah, good throw to start the last half. Yeah, that was a great drive. That was a really good throw by Lamar as well. He's played really well. Hold on 1 second. But we wait for them to come back from commercial. The Lions can get the football for their first possession here in the second half. They trail for the first time today. Now 21-14. So we still wait for them to come back. I'm just gonna look something up, but I don't remember what it was. We got a penalty here on the kickoff because it doesn't bounce in the landing zone inside the 20. So I believe that's going to put the ball on the 40, maybe the 45. Yeah, the 40-yard line is where it's going to be put. The ball's going to be spotted. Jared Goff in the first half, 14 of 17, 135. Goff to throw here to open up the second, and he throws short and incomplete. Got hit as he threw. Mark Andrews tonight, 5 catches, 64 yards, and a touchdown. Coming into the game, he had been targeted just 4 times and caught 2 of them for 7 yards. So a 2nd and 10 for the Lions. Goff going to hand off to Jahmyr Gibbs. Cuts up the middle, and Jahmyr Gibbs bounces off a defender and gains 7. So it's a 3rd and 3 here for the Lions. On their own 47, first down is at midfield. Goff looks to throw. Goff throws underneath, that's caught by Laporta for a first down. In front of Roquan Smith. Laporta makes the catch. Another catch on 3rd down for him. And the Lions with another conversion on 3rd down. I believe they're now 7 of 10. That's a great throw. So Goff under center. Laporta's got 3 catches for 31 yards. I believe all are on 3rd down. Here's Gibbs up the middle. Breaks the tackle, and Jahmyr Gibbs, 10 yards. Good run there for the Lions. So here is a 2nd and 1. 6:50 to go in the 3rd quarter. Goff and shotgun. Gibbs is the back to his right. They'll hand it to him. Gibbs, maybe a yard, but does get enough to move the sticks. So 1st and 10 here for the Lions. Goff under center, tosses it to Montgomery, going to throw it back to Goff, and Jared Goff going to throw downfield, and that is caught at the 18-yard line by Amon-Ra St. Brown. A trick play there for the Lions. They just got to make sure this pass was backwards from Montgomery to Goff. Yeah, it was. But a nice trick play there for the Lions. Goff to throw here. Goff can take a shot at the end zone. Call for a touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown makes the catch. And the Lions tie it back up. What a throw. What a catch by St. Brown. An 18-yard touchdown. With 5:13 to go in the third quarter. This is a great throw from Jared Goff. Really nice play right there for the Lions. 7-play, 60-yard drives, takes 3:38 off the clock. And here is Jake Bates for the extra point. And it is right down the middle. 21-21. We're all tied once again. That was a really nice touchdown right there for the Lions. 5:13 to go in the third quarter. And both teams with touchdowns on their first drive of the second half. Ravens drive a little bit longer, but both teams get points. And that accomplishes the goal. Jared Goff, after that drive, up to 177 and a touchdown. Give me 1 second. Just thought of something I need to do tomorrow, so I want to write that down before I forget. Alright, 1 second. Alright, I got it. But we wait for them to come back from commercial. Game tied at 21. 5:13 to go in the third quarter. So this kick is going to bounce out of bounds. Smart play by Justice Hill to let that bounce. And the balls can come out at the 40. Back-to-back kickoffs where we've seen the kicker mess up. Obviously, Bates kicked this one out of bounds, and Ravens kicked one too short. Didn't reach the 20. Amon-Ra St. Brown, his 37 career receiving touchdowns are now third in Lions franchise history. Here's a throw to Zay Flowers on the screen, gets a block, and Flowers is going to gain 7. Taken down by Brian Branch. We got 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. So a 2nd and 3 for the Ravens. Jackson under center. And off play action, Lamar looks like he wanted to go deep, and instead he's going to be swung around and finally sacked. Took a while for the Lions to get him on the ground, but finally a sack, 2nd of the day for the Lions defense. Third and 10. Here for the Ravens. Oh, that was actually the third. Oh, yeah, that's right, third sack of the day for the Lions defense. Jackson pressured, throws underneath, incomplete. Led Rashad Bateman too far. He wasn't getting anything after the catch anyway. And the Lions defense forces a quick 3 and out. But a great possession right there for the Lions. And they get it back with 3:47 to go in the third quarter. So here is a 4th and 10. And the punt is away. Raymond is going to let it go over his head, and it is going to... Wow, what a punt! It bounces and sticks at the 4. I thought that was going into the end zone. What a punt there. It is down at the 4-yard line. But the Lions get the ball backed up deep inside their own territory, although we've seen them do that once already, where they went 98 yards in 18 plays. And obviously scored a touchdown, so maybe they can do it again, but a great punt right there. But we wait for them to come back from commercial. Game tied at 21. And let's see what the Lions can do here for their next possession. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. Actually, they just got back right as I said that. The Lions with the ball on their own 4-yard line. 3:36 to go in the third quarter. Game tied at 20. 21, sorry. The Lions are backed up deep. The second time today it's happened. Handoff up the middle for David Montgomery. Got some space, and Montgomery gonna have a first down, gain of 11. A nice run for Montgomery, able to get the Lions some breathing room. But a good first down run. Montgomery 42 yards and a touchdown on 8 carries. That's 5.3 yards per attempt. Goff, off play action, throws over the middle, just missed St. Brown. And it's incomplete. Let him a little too far to the inside. It's out of his reach. Brings up 2nd and 10. So 2nd and 10. Goff under center from the 15. They go back to the ground with Montgomery. And again, Montgomery with space. He's got a first down and more. Montgomery breaks free. Inside Ravens territory. Montgomery in a foot race. And the Ravens will catch him at the 12-yard line. What a run for David Montgomery. A big run. Puts the Lions inside the red zone. From 115 to inside the other. A great run there from Montgomery. I mean, what a run. Didn't quite have the speed to take it all the way, but that was a great run. 72 yards on that play. Now they hand it to Jahmyr Gibbs up the middle. And he's got a good run. Not quite 72 yards. But about 6 right there on first down. Now Montgomery comes back in. He's up to 9 carries for 114 yards and a touchdown after that one. Gibbs and Montgomery both in the game for the Lions. They put 3 guys behind Goff. Montgomery, then Laporta, then Gibbs. And they're in a play action. Goff pump fakes, throws underneath for Laporta, and he's chopped down after getting just a yard. Makes it 3rd and 4 with 1:05 to go in the third quarter. Jared Goff, 7 of 8, 70 yards, 5 first downs on third down. Sam Laporta has been big in these situations. Play clock at 3. They might have to call a timeout right here. They do. So it's 3rd and 4 here for the Lions. Looked like there was a lot of confusion right there of who's supposed to be in the game, who's not. But they call timeout before this 3rd and 4. A 5-play, 90-yard drive taking just 3 minutes off the clock so far for the Lions. Obviously, the big 72-yard run from Montgomery helped. So 3rd and 4. Goff comes under center. And he's going to hand it off to Jahmyr Gibbs up the middle. And Gibbs looks like just short. Got 3, needed 4. And here's a decision for Dan Campbell. I think I go for it. They will go for it. 4th and 1. Goff goes under center. Gibbs is the back. They're actually not going to snap this. So the Lions going to have some time to talk it over. As we head to the 4th quarter, tied at 21. Been a great game so far. And let's see if it continues, hopefully. Oh, interesting. I just thought of this. We've actually seen exactly 1 touchdown by each team in each quarter. That's how I've gotten to 21-21 at this point in the game. So if that continues, we're headed to overtime tied at 28. But we enter the 4th quarter tied at 21. And I mean, let's see what the Lions do here on 4th down. I would fully expect them to go for it. I would go for it. And obviously we know Dan Campbell loves to go for 4th downs. So let's see what they do. I'd go for it, though. So here is a 4th and 1. It does seem like the Lions will go for it. We got 15 minutes to go, obviously the 4th quarter. Yeah, the offense is on the field. 4th and 1. Currently a 6-play and 92-yard drive that started on their own 4. Big play right here. Goff under center. Gibbs is the back. Goff gonna hand it to St. Brown, who flips it to Gibbs, and he walks in. Wow, what a play for the Lions! Wow, the Lions with another trick play, a 4-yard touchdown for Jahmyr Gibbs, and the Lions take the lead. They lined St. Brown up at fullback, they handed him the ball, and then he flipped it to Gibbs on the outside. That was nice. What a play right there for the Lions. Yeah, that was really well played. So here's Bates for the extra point to make it a 7-point Lion lead. And it's right down the middle. So let's see how the Ravens respond. That's 2 drives to the Lions, too. At least 95 yards. They had a 98-yard drive. Now this is a 96-yard drive. They've done a great job offensively. And I think what might be most impressive is how they've run the ball. The Lions have run for 169 yards, 5.8 yards a carry, against what is a really good Raven run defense. But we wait for them to come back from commercial, a 7-point lead for the Lions. With 14:55 to go. In the fourth quarter. So they're back from commercial break. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. This kick, when he returned from at the 15 and returned to the 29, Ravens won a horse collar tackle, no flag. Lamar Jackson tonight, 15 of 18, 170 yards, 2 touchdowns, 25 rushing yards. So from their own 28, Ravens take over. Flowers goes in motion, had a quiet game so far. Jackson on the option keeps this, makes a man miss, and is then taken down for a gain of 3. Jackson design road was right, throws to the outside, incomplete. Misses A. Flowers, was the intended target. Flowers, very quiet game, just 3 targets, 2 catches for 13 yards. So here is a 3rd and 7. Ravens are 4 of 7 on 3rd down. The Lions were great on 3rd down, 7 of 11 offensively. The Ravens here, 3rd and 7. Big play right here. 14 minutes, 11 seconds to go in the 4th quarter. Jackson to throw. Jackson over the middle. Call for a first down. Rashad Bateman to midfield. Nice throw, nice catch, and a first down for the Ravens. That's a big conversion right there. You avoid giving the ball right back to the Lions. and putting their offense back on the field. This is a really nice third down conversion for the Ravens. Nice throw, nice catch. And they move the sticks. So ball on the Lion 49. Jackson under center. Henry's the back. And they're going to toss this to Henry to the right side. And Henry is met after a gain of 2. Flag is down. We have a chop block here. How do you have a chop block against the defense? Or I guess it's not necessarily a chop block. Or I guess he went low. I don't know what the exact rule is, but the rules expert says it shouldn't be a penalty. But that gives the Ravens the ball on the 31-yard line. The 5th penalty against the Lions for 38 yards. Ravens 1 penalty, 5 yards. Make it 2 penalties, 10 yards. Charlie Kolar going to be called for a false start right here. So that backs him up to 1st and 15. So 1st and 15. Jackson throws outside, not on the same pace with DeAndre Hopkins. And it's incomplete. So 2nd and 15 after the incompletion. Jackson looks to throw, has time, plenty of it. Now throws over the middle, that is called for a first down. Rashad Bateman, another catch. Another first down for the Ravens. Gain 16. And the Ravens move the sticks. Bateman wide open right there. So 1st and 10 from the 20. Jackson, designed run. And he's dragged down after getting just a yard. Great tackle there by DJ Reader, the former Bengal. Prevents potential big play. And would Lamar Jackson get into space. So 2nd and 9. Jackson to throw. Jackson pressured, steps up, and trying to get away. He's taken down for a sack. Ball comes out at the end, but they're going to say he was down first. But that's another sack for the Lions defense. We have 4th of the day. Looks like they had a spy on Lamar right there. And he just tried to make a move and get around him, but it didn't work. It's the 4th sack of the day for the Lions defense. But a loss of 3 makes it 3rd and 13. Jackson looks to throw, steps up. Jackson, now time runs out again, gonna roll to his left, tripped up, taken down for another sack. 5th of the day for the Lions defense. That's a big tackle right there, because Lamar Jackson could have potentially got out to the open field. Derek Barnes with a big tackle right there. Yeah, I don't know if he's got a first down if he runs, but he's got a lot of space. But instead, the Lions defense can hold the Ravens to a field goal try. The rookie Tyler Loop from Arizona, I believe. A 41-yard field goal. And Loop's kick is... Oh, he missed it. Oh, no, he made it. He made it. My bad. I thought that curve before the uprights, not after. Oh, it went like over the upright. But they do say good. I must have remembered his Red Bull at halftime because he made it. I don't know why I thought he missed that. While we wait for them to come back from commercial here, a 4-point game after the first made field goal of the game. $9:40 to go. Alright, so this kick did go right over the upright. Alright, so maybe it actually doesn't look so bad that I did not know if the field goal was good. 'Cause it's hard to tell because it went right over the upright. This kick going to be returned from the 5. And on the return, he gets a block. Spins away from a tackler and gets to the 35. Good return there for the Lions. So here is a 1st and 10 from their own 35 for the Lions, up by 4. They hand it off to Jahmyr Gibbs up the middle, and he's got about 4 yards. Lions run the ball very effectively today. Brings up 2nd and 5. So they'll give Gibbs 5 on 1st down. Lions didn't run the ball super effectively in the first couple weeks, but they've been great tonight. 174 yards, 5.8 yards a carry. So here is a 2nd and 5. Goff off play action, looks to throw. Goff downfield, knocked away. Nice play by Nate Wiggins. Breaks that pass up, and it's 3rd and 5. And that is great coverage. So 3rd and 5 right here. 8:48 to go in the 4th quarter. Big play. Play clock at 2. We got flags coming. It's either going to be delay a game or false start, unless Dan Campbell got a timeout in. Let's see. Oh, the Lions got the timeout called. Wow. Dan Campbell just got it. But that leaves the Lions with 1 timeout remaining. And it stays 3rd and 5. The Ravens haven't gotten a sack today. They've got a 57-game streak with a sack. Longest active streak in the NFL. 3rd and 5. Goff to throw. Goff steps up. Goff going to try to maybe run. No, throws incomplete. Trying to hit Khalif Raymond on the outside. And it's 4th down. I thought Goff was going to try to run for it. But at the last second he saw Raymond and just made a bad throw. He's not going to be able to get this 1st down as a runner. It makes it actually a pretty good decision to throw to the outside. Just needs to make a better throw. But the Ravens get the ball back. And 8:31 to go in the 4th quarter. After the punt, which I was looking away, so I didn't see. 50-yard punt, 11 on the return. And the Ravens take over at their own 21-yard line. 8:31 to go in the 4th quarter. Lions up by 4. A 4-point game, big opportunity for the Ravens right here to potentially take the lead. But we wait for them to come back from commercial. A 4-point game. We still wait for them to come back. 28-24. Lions lead. With 8:31 to go in the fourth quarter. Ravens with the ball on their own 21-yard line after a 50-yard punt, 11 on the return. So now they're back from commercial. So here goes the handoff to Derrick Henry. Oh, he lost the ball! It's recovered by the Lions. DJ Reed recovers at the 17-yard line. Wow. A huge turnover by the Lions defense. Wow. It's another costly fumble for Derrick Henry. Aiden Hutchinson punched it out. DJ Reed recovered. And the Lions, just like that, have the ball in the red zone. Wow. Obviously, Henry had the big fumble against the Bills, really sparked their comeback. Wow. So the Lions take over the 16. They hand it off to Montgomery up the middle, who dances his way for about 3 yards. That's the second lost fumble for Derrick Henry this season. The third time he's fumbled. So here is a 2nd and 7. Montgomery left side breaks a tackle and gains 8. First down for the Lions. We really need to rally with John Harbaugh. He needs to get those Ravens riled up. Get the ball back. That is true. Offensive face mask here. Against the left guard for the Lions. Yeah, that's a penalty. They circled the wrong guy. But that's a penalty right there. Henry's had a fumble fumbled. Didn't lose a fumble last week, but he's the only running back this season to fumble in each of their first 3 games. And ball security is usually not an issue with Derrick Henry. So 2nd and 22 after the face mask call. Goff hands off. Gibbs is gonna run into an lineman and maybe get a yard. Aiden Hutchinson forced the fumble, punched it right out. He's had a quiet game, but a big play right there. So 3rd and 21. Let's see if the Ravens defense can get a stop and hold the Lions to 3. That would still be a 1-score game. Big opportunity right here. Goff takes a shot downfield, incomplete. Receiver saw it way too late, and it's 4th down. This is the first time in Derrick Henry's career that he's had multiple fourth quarter fumbles lost in the same season. That is crazy. So here is Jake Bates for a 45-yard field goal to put the Lions up by a touchdown, and his field goal is right down the middle. So it's 31-24. The Lions lead the Ravens. But the Ravens defense does a great job. They hold the Lions to a field goal. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, they hold the Lions to a field goal, and it stays a one-score game, 31-24. Now, a big possession upcoming right here for the Ravens. Pretty much must score. Got 6:35 to go in the fourth. Plenty of time. Yeah, plenty of time for the Ravens. 6:35 to go. Down by a touchdown. We've also got all 3 timeouts, so plenty of time for them, but ideally you need a touchdown here because otherwise you're putting a lot of pressure on your defense too. 3-pointer would do just fine here too. Yeah, I mean, obviously you'd prefer the touchdown, but I guess you can take points. That way you give yourself a little bit more flexibility on the next drive. Yeah, really just points here for the Ravens. Obviously, ideally a touchdown if you're Baltimore, but anything will do. You just don't want to turn it over on the first play again. So Jake Bates to send it away. And his kick is away. Returned from about the 10-yard line. And on the return, the 31. So let's see what Lamar Jackson and the Ravens offense can do right here. Down by a touchdown. 6.5 minutes to go. So 1st and 10, Jackson. Pressure, Jackson sacked again. Aiden Hutchinson with his second big play in a row. That is the 6th sack of the game for the Lions defense. He's able to beat Ronnie Stanley and get inside. And Lamar Jackson just holds on to the ball after pump faking and eats another sack. So here's a 2nd and 16. Jackson to throw. Here's a dump off to Justice Hill, who stumbles, regains his balance, and gets about 4. It's going to be 3rd and long here for the Ravens. 5:35 to go. So 3rd and 12 for the Ravens. Lions show blitz. Play clock at 5. They get the snap off. Jackson to throw. Steps up. Jackson pressured again. And Jackson dragged down from behind. This time not a sack. He's able to get across the line. But again, can't find anywhere to go with the ball. And the Lions able to take him down before he hurts him with his legs. They force Jackson to step up, and then Alex Anzalone, who has a spy on him, just goes to attack the football, and Lamar Jackson's got nowhere to go. This punt goes out of bounds. And let's see where it's going to be spotted. The 30-yard line. A 38-yard punt there for the Ravens. Not ideal. So 1st and 10 for the Lions on their own 30. Big drive here could potentially put the game away. Here's a toss. Jahmyr Gibbs left side. Tries to turn the corner. Stiff arms the guy. Stays in bounds. And steps out after a gain of 7. So 2nd and 3 for the Lions on their own 37. Another handoff. Jahmyr Gibbs up the middle. And he's got a 1st down. Gain of 4. And the Lions move the sticks with 4:05 to go. So 1st and 10 from the 41. Keep it on the ground. Gibbs up the middle. This time not as much. Only about 2 yards. So 2nd and 8 right here. 2:50 to go. Could be the final play before the 2-minute warning. They hand it off to Montgomery up the middle. And Montgomery going to gain about 3. Looks like there's about half a second separating the play clock and game clock, so they will have to snap it one more time before the 2-minute warning. So 3rd and 5 here for the Lions. Goff and shotgun, Gibbs to his left. Goff gonna throw it. It's a swing pass, screen for Gibbs. And Gibbs is gonna get chopped down. Big tackle by Roquan Smith, the 49-yard line. Makes it 4th and 2. With 1:56 to go. So a 7-point game, minute 56 to go. It's going to be 4th and 2 for the Lions. And, I mean, this is a big decision right here. I think I punt this. Trust your defense. But we know Dan Campbell. I think he might try to go for this and put the game away, but at the same time, then you really risk giving them the ball great field position if you don't get it. It's going 4th and 2 on their own 49. I punt this and trust the defense. The defense has played pretty well in this game. Done a great job getting pressure on Lamar Jackson. Gotten 6 sacks. I trust the defense here. If I'm Dan Campbell, the Lions. The Ravens do have all 3 timeouts. The Lions have 1 timeout. You'd go for it, then you need a touchdown to win. I mean, I understand going for it. I wouldn't be shocked if Dan Campbell does. I just think I would trust the defense in this situation. Punt it, you got one of the best punters in the NFL as well. Try to pin him back deep. I would trust the defense. I can understand going for it. Let's see what they do. They've got the offense out on the field. 4th and 2. Minute 56 to go. Wonder if they actually go for this. Or if they just try to draw them off sides. Lions, since 2021, go for it 32% of the time. Highest rate in the NFL. They need a full 2 yards right here. Goff under center. They will snap it. Goff play action. Looks to throw. Goff floats one downfield. Caught by St. Brown at the 33. A big conversion for the Lions. Great throw. Great catch. Oh, we do have a flag down. Hold on. A flag is down back at the 50. But it's defensive holding, so it doesn't matter. Wow, what a big call for Dan Campbell. I mean, this is a great throw, great catch. Aggressive call for Dan Campbell, but it works. I mean, game's still not over. Ravens do have 3 timeouts. Yeah, because the penalty stopped the clock. Ravens got to get a stop on these 3 plays and hope the Lions miss a field goal. Here's David Montgomery to the right side. Montgomery's going to get a first down. Montgomery is in for a touchdown. That should do it. David Montgomery with his 2nd touchdown of the game puts the Lions up 37-24. A 31-yard touchdown. for David Montgomery. What a play right there. What a couple play sequence. 2 plays right there. Jared Goff wanted him to go down. I mean, I don't really think it matters at this point, though. Because the Ravens, I mean, yeah, maybe going down is technically safer, but you're up 14 with 1:42 left. The Ravens are going to have to get an onside kick. I don't really think it makes a huge difference right now. Great call there. Ravens seem off all game. Agree with that call. Yeah, I understand going for it. And obviously paid off. Ravens got a weak defense. That's game. I mean, yeah, the defense hasn't played that well. Especially against the run. That's what's really been the strength of the Ravens defense over the past couple years. I mean, I do think this combination of the Ravens defense didn't play their best game, and they're playing against one of the best offenses in the NFL, but the Ravens defense hasn't looked that good. So that could be something to worry about. But let's see. Who do they play next? Oh, they play the Chiefs next week. So not much time to figure things out. I mean, the Chiefs haven't been playing too well, but defense definitely could use some work. But the Ravens take over the 35 after the kick was a touchback. But let's see what the Ravens can do. 1:42, 3 timeouts. Extremely unlikely, but there's a slight chance. Jackson takes a shot deep down the sideline. That is incomplete. Led Bateman too far to bounds. Take KC all day in that one. I don't know. I mean, I haven't really thought about that too much, but I might take the Ravens. But it is in Kansas City, I believe, so I don't know. I mean, Chiefs haven't really been too impressive. Think about that one a little bit more, but I really don't know. Lions bring a blitz. Jackson pressured. Back at his own 15, and Jackson going to take another sack. At the 13-yard line. 1:25 to go. 7th sack of the day for the Lions defense. That is one thing that Lamar Jackson doesn't really like to do. Throw the ball away. I mean, he's always trying to make a play, which obviously you understand because he's so good at it. And he can escape probably 9 times out of 10, but sometimes he might want to throw the ball away. 3rd and 26. He checks it down to Justice Hill, who gets across the 30, breaks a tackle, and Hill now gets to the sideline, gets across midfield, and gets it out of bounds at the 45. Stop the clock, 51 seconds to go. So 51 seconds left. Zay Flowers goes in motion. Jackson looks to throw. Throws outside, caught. Rashad Bateman keeps his feet in bounds to the 30-yard line. Stops the clock, 46 seconds to go. So here's Jackson to throw. Steps up. Jackson going to try to run it here. And he's shoved it out of bounds. That's going to keep winding the clock because he wasn't trying to go upfield. So 35 seconds left. A timeout is called by the Ravens, but I really think they kind of conceded the game when Jackson took that big sack and they didn't call a timeout. Because just so much time came off the clock right there. Now there's pretty much no point in calling timeout because the game's pretty much over. 35 seconds, down 14. Need a miracle. Did not expect the Lions defense to show up. Yeah, their defense played really well. I mean, this is a Lions defense that I think is slightly underrated when you consider just how good they are. Like, they were supposed to be really good last year. They just got hurt like 1,000 times. And are playing with like 8th string defensive linemen. But now they're healthy. This is one of the best defenses in the NFL. Jackson outside, Andrews wide open, cuts inside and scores. Not over yet. Just expect the Ravens offense to play better. Yeah, I expect the offense to be a little bit better too, but I do think part of that is the Lions defense played a good game. But the Ravens are able to get to 30 here. 29 seconds left. They're going to need an onside kick. The Ravens going to go for 2 right here. With 29 seconds left. To make it a 6-point game. Jackson designed roll right, fakes the pitch, and now throws back the end zone, almost intercepted. There's a flag on the field. In the end zone. Looks like they might get a second chance at this. Gonna be a hold against the Lions. Oh, and an ineligible receiver. Ineligible receiver downfield, so the foul's offset. We'll try it again. Left their pocket open too many times. Yeah, it was a problem for the Ravens. Jackson to throw, back of the end zone, missed Zay Flowers badly. But yeah, the Ravens needed to protect Lamar Jackson a little bit better. I think part of these sacks are in Lamar Jackson though. He's always so used to trying to make a play, which he's usually able to, but he just couldn't get away today. Because the Lions, they played it really well with how they attacked the ball, with the timely spies on him. So yeah. So 29 seconds left. Ravens need an onside kick. All those sacks should have been otherwise. I don't know about all the sacks, but I definitely think at least half of them. Probably more. Onside kicks this year are 1 for 11. Eight-point game. Ravens need the onside kick. .29 seconds. Remember, gotta go 10 yards before it's touched. Takes the hop, and Laporta makes the catch. That does it. Final score is going to be 38-30. Lions beat the Ravens. What a game for the Lions. This is a really good performance. Their offense played really well. I thought their defense, even though they allowed 30 points, they played pretty well. And the Lions with back-to-back good wins. I know last week they beat the Bears, but they put 50 points. It's a good win. Back-to-back good wins for the Lions, and the Ravens fall to 1-2. Ravens' upcoming schedule, it's not easy. They got 3 straight playoff teams from last year, and then their bye week. They go at the Chiefs, home against the Texans, home against the Rams, bye week, and then home against the Bears. I mean, I do think you got to expect them to win one of those next 3 games, whether it's at Chiefs, Texans, or Ravens. They should be able to win 1, maybe 2. But I mean, if they start 1-5 and lose those next 3, I think we're kind of talking about last year's Bengals with a better defense. Just dig themselves a huge hole and might not be able to come out of it. You've got KC winning and Detroit winning. So you've got the Ravens losing. Who do the Lions even play? I know I saw. I don't remember. Here, let's see. The Browns. Boy, they might put up 70 in that game. Yeah, I think the Lions win easily. Oh, I thought the Packers would win easily, so I guess you never know, but you would expect the Lions to win pretty easily. Think the Ravens are in trouble. They very well could be. I mean, a 1-2 start. I mean, they have lost to maybe 2 of the 3 or 5 best teams in the NFL. But I mean, I still think this is a really good team. But they could be in some trouble. I mean, they're 1-2 in a fairly tough division. Although, I do think they are easily the best team. That the Bengals are without Burrow and the Steelers are the Steelers. And you've got the Browns. But I mean, they're 1-2. But I mean, I think the worst part for the Ravens is their schedule. Because it's not easy. They go at the Chiefs next week, then they play the Texans, Rams, then they're bye. Which, I mean, it's not out of the question for them to be 1-5 at that point. I wouldn't expect it. But I wouldn't expect them to be 500. Well, wait, 1-5? Wait, how am I doing math? Yeah, they could be 1-5 if they go 0-3. I mean, they could very well be 2-4 heading to the bye week. But I mean, out of the bye, the schedule gets a little easier. They get the Bears, Dolphins, Vikings, Browns, Jets as their 5 next games. They could go on a run right there. The Vikings could be tough, but I still think they're the best team out of all 5 of those teams. But then it gets a little tougher again. You go Bengals, Steelers, Bengals, Patriots, Packers, Steelers. So I mean, this is not an easy schedule for the Ravens. I think we could see a similar situation to the Bengals last year. Get off to a rough start, and then try to dig yourself out of it. For the Ravens, their schedule does allow them to do that because it gets a little easier. But I mean, the Bengals, they started 0-3, 1-4, and then let's see, what is that? They started 4-8, and then won their last 5. They'll end up. Oh, they ended up missing the playoffs. I mean, a 4-8 start for the Bengals last year. This could be a. I mean, let's say they win one of the next three: Chiefs, Texans, Ravens. Although they're definitely tough games. That puts them at 2-4. But then I think they can go on a little bit of a run. They could win 5 straight, maybe 6, because Burrow's not going to play in that game for the Bengals. All right, maybe they go win 7 straight. They could go on a run. Bears, Dolphins, Vikings, Browns, Jets, Bengals, Steelers. And then Burrow could be back for that second Bengals game. So, I mean, I think the Ravens will be okay with how their schedule sets up, but starting 1-2 and potentially 2-4, 1-5 is not ideal, but I think they should be okay. But it could be a tough start, especially if some other teams in the AFC continue to play well. Like, you've got the Bills. I mean, if the Bengals stay competitive without Burrow, although I know they weren't competitive last week, or yesterday. But that could be tough. If the Colts stay looking good, the Jaguars look decent. Who knows what's going to go on at the West? The Chargers look great. Broncos, Chiefs, I mean, if the Ravens don't win the division, they're past a wild card. Could be a little tough, but I think overall they'll be okay. I mean, they don't look great at the moment, but they should be alright. At least I think so. I love the Vikings. Nice. Are you a Vikings fan? Or you just like the Vikings? But yeah, it could be tough for the Ravens, but I think they'll be okay. I know I've said that like a million times, but it's not going to be easy. Oh, I just realized you never switched this to final. I mean, I know everyone knows it's over, but there we go. Well, here they're about to score a touchdown, 6 minutes left, and then Ravens fell apart. Lamar isn't convincing. I mean, I definitely agree. Lamar Jackson could be a little bit better in big moments, especially in the playoffs. But I mean, even just like the regular season. But yeah, I mean, they had their opportunity. Just didn't get it done. Family Minnesota. Okay. That makes sense. What? Final score, Lions 38, Ravens 30. That's going to do it for this stream, everybody. Thank you guys for watching. Game ended up being pretty good. Thought it could have been a little bit better, but still a pretty good game. And, yeah, that's going to do it for this video. I'll have a lot more content on the way. Power rankings out tomorrow. But that's going to do it for this stream, everybody. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, turn notifications so don't miss any of their upcoming videos or streams. I do my best to post as often as possible. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day or night. And I will see you in the next video.